Welcome back to Consciousness Tech Priest. I apologize for the rough way you were handled in your current state of, undress. I understand it is rude to disrobe and dismember a guest, but considering the number of weapons upon your person, it seemed the safest course of action. I promise to replace your limbs at, some point. Now you're probably wondering who is speaking to you considering you are alone in a rather small and Spartan room. But before I tell you, perhaps I should expand your knowledge a bit. It is what your kind claim to seek after all. So to aid you in your quest for knowledge, Tech Priest, let me tell you of the kin, and the mighty interstellar empire they have formed known as the Leagues of Votann. To many in your Imperium of Man, the kin are known as squats, abhumans who are unfortunate enough to be mutated away from the supposedly perfect human form, in ignorant belief. But ignorance is something your Imperium is known for. The kin were no accident of birth. They were designed, their forms molded for a greater purpose. By whom? Well, that is not really known or more accurately remembered. All the kin know of these progenitors are bits of truth that have formed myths and legends. These progenitors are known by many names, such as the Primal Ancestor, the Gilded Ones, or the Stone Mind, and are also presented in many forms, described as golden figures, or even a wheel of stone faces. Whatever their names and forms, what is true is that these beings crafted the kin, using what would be known as the crucibles, clone forges used to this day, where kin are birthed through the use of vast banks of genetic data. These crucibles form bodies for the kin suited for their future duties. Bodies that, although are shorter and wider than that of a human, are much tougher and stronger. These crucibles also enhance their souls, their spirits hardened against psychic manipulation and corruption. As for their duty, they were charged with harvesting the riches of the galactic core, as miners, prospectors, and void dredgers, gaining wealth in a realm that other races would find inhospitable. Placed on generation ships known as Long March vessels, sublight engines pushed them towards a new home, a journey that would take centuries. And to aid them on this journey, those who crafted the kin also crafted their mechanical allies, the Iron Kin, self-aware machine intelligences dedicated to aiding their flesh and blood fellows. Oh, I see the look of horror in what's left on the flesh of your face, Tech Priest. Your fear of the abominable intelligence clear, the story of how rebellious machines nearly wiped out humanity echoing in your mind. But know this, throughout the history of the kin, the Iron Kin have remained loyal, trusted so deeply that they are treated as equals to those who are flesh and blood, which makes you think that perhaps it wasn't the machines that were the problem during the dark age of technology. It was as these fleets traveled the unforgiving void that a far more unforgiving moral code was etched into the toughened souls of the kin, a moral code built upon necessity and survival. For you see, it was a time where a filter changed late, a weak seam missed, or a water tank left leaking could spell disaster, and where lack of due diligence could lead to missing resources necessary for repairs or fuel. These circumstances etched a belief into the kin that shirking your duty and not being diligent in your assigned task were the greatest of sins. From these experiences and beliefs emerged a rugged survivalist culture, one that finds strength and unity in the endless quest to require resources and opportunity for their kin. All kin belong to a collective known as a kindred that varies in size from a few dozen up to millions, all sharing a bond formed from when they were first birthed from their crucibles, birthing machines that use the same genetic database to form each generation of that kindred's kin, allowing for kindreds of sizes between that of extended families, to a clan of genetically related kin that form their own interstellar nation-state. These kin were not amongst the stars for trade, scouting, mineral prospecting, or war, usually live, train, and toil within their kindred holds. The form of these holds vary. Some may be fusions of fortification, city, industrial complex, and strip mine. The largest of these, called Hold Worlds, may, as the name suggests, sprawl across an entire world. Others may be heavily armed void stations, chains of domes scattered throughout an asteroid belt, nomadic harvesting fleets, and many other forms. For a time, these kindred, as their long march vessels landed on different worlds or asteroid belts across the galactic core, were content to keep to themselves. But eventually, they found it necessary to form alliances with their kindreds for resource exploitation or mutual defense, forming alliances or confederations of several kindreds. The greatest of these alliances, however, known as leagues, were not initially formed for these concerns. They formed for the most vital of duties, the protection of what the kin view as the most important beings in their society, the Votann, one of which is happening to be speaking to you right now, Tech Priest. We Votann are machine intelligences that are created by the kin's progenitors to guide them. Beings composed of self-organized data stacks and quantum info cores, with all the information a race would need to survive and thrive, containing valuable data such as weapon specifications, standard template constructs, scientific and philosophical learnings, military strategy, and so on. Careful there, Tech Priest. You seem to be drooling. Would hate for you to short-circuit. Over the millennia, we Votann have advised the kin as best as we can to protect them in this hostile galaxy. Advice that does not come easy, but not for lack of want. You see, Tech Priest, millennia of data has overwhelmed even our advanced data organization algorithms. Not just the data of day-to-day life, but the data of the kin themselves. For all kin and iron kin feel it is their duty to upload their cerebral data into us upon their deaths, so that their experiences can aid and enrich the next generation, a ritual they call returning to the ancestors. And although such information is undoubtedly useful, billions of minds worth of memories can be rather hard to parse, causing important data to be lost in an endless sea of information, especially older data, such as the origins of the kin. It is why many Votann have quirks. Little things that affect their personalities, such as a Votann who likes to tell stories in a verbal tradition, which is why you are here, Tech Priest. The time of the kin is too precious to waste in the stories of an old Votann, stories they've heard perhaps thousands of times already, but alone captured Tech Priest. Now that would be quite the captive audience. And yes, the pun was intended. That all said, the kin of today are formed of various leagues that either claim a portion of the galactic core, or travel its length as nomads, trading, mining, and occasionally fighting with each other and other races to improve the lives of the various kindreds of the League. Each league with its own unique culture grown naturally through history, or molded by the Votann. Leagues I will discuss with you another time. I must focus on other duties, and you have much sitting to do. For now, enjoy the silence. I will come back to impart more knowledge at some point.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on the Leagues of Votann, those awesome space dwarves in the Warhammer 40k universe. An army, if I find the time and the money, will probably paint up a kill team or even an army for. But then again, time and money. If you really like this video and want more like it, please like, subscribe, comment, press that little bell so the YouTube guys know I exist. And yeah, give me some of that. And also, if you're inclined, and if you have the cash, please consider giving a little money away to my Patreon or my Ko-fi account. The extra money gives you a chance to work on these stories I love. Anyway, thanks for listening/watching, and see you next time.